Hello boys, this is your physics teacher Jahanara Akter. Welcome to all of you, my virtual class. This is my first class. Hope all of you are well and safe at the home. As we were almost at the end of our syllabus in our regular class, now in online class we will try to just review the chapters again. Our next exam or next target is pre-test exam, so we have to take preparation for the pre-test exam, and for attending pre-test exam we have to review the whole book again. So let's start the class. As this is our review class, I'll just try to focus on the important topics that are required for your creative type questions. Okay. Before attending the classes, you must have pen, books or written copies with you, so that you can record all necessary information. And if you have any kind of questions, you can comment on comment box. As you know, we have 14 chapters in our book, and our first chapter is we will try to just focus on our first chapter. Our first chapter is physical quantities and their measurement, and in this chapter you have known so many topics. You have known about physics, you have known about branch of physics, you have known about measuring instruments, fundamental unit and derived units. So many topics are here, but for creative type questions, if I want to specially tell about creative type question, measuring instruments, that is most important topic here. First of all, if I want to tell about physics, what is physics? The branch of science that create relationship between particles and energy is called physics. And this has two branches, classical physics and modern physics. The branches of classical physics are mechanics, sound, heat, thermodynamics, electricity, magnetism, optics, and from classical physics you have learned so many chapters in your book, in your classes. For example, you have learned about sound, heat, thermodynamics, electricity, magnetism, and optics. But if you want to detail about modern physics, you will get details of modern physics on your higher studies. If I want to get involved to the detail of the chapter, I want to tell that I will just focus on the creative type questions and the necessary topics that related to creative type questions. So I am skipping some topics here. For example, earlier you have known about dimension. What is dimension? Examples of different kind of dimensions. You have known about quantity. What is quantity? Fundamental quantity, derived quantity, their examples. You have known about the contribution of different scientists on the development of physics. So you just try to focus on these topics at home. In our virtual class, we will just focus on the mathematical terms or mathematically related topics. So next I want to focus on the topic of measuring instrument. In this segment you have known about vernier scale, screw gauge, balance, etc. Vernier scale, if I want to tell about vernier scale, what is vernier scale? This is an auxiliary scale that slides parallel to the main scale and enables readings to be made to a fraction of a division on the main scale. That means why do you use vernier scale instead of main scale? Using a main scale, we can measure the value of any object in millimeter scale. The least count will be in the millimeter scale using main scale. But if we want to get the value of fraction of millimeter, then we can use the regular scale or main scale. We have to use a special type of scale that is called vernier scale. Okay, that means this scale is usually used to get the fraction of millimeter range. Okay, you have to know some important definitions, important terms here. For example, vernier constant. What is vernier constant? Before telling about vernier constant, I want to tell that vernier scale has some divisions. For example, vernier scale has a main scale. Actually, a vernier scale is a part of a special kind of scale that is called slide calipers. Slide calipers has vernier scale, main scale, etc. Vernier constant. What is vernier constant? The difference between one division of vernier scale and one division of main scale is called vernier scale. Vernier constant, vernier constant. At your lab work, you have seen slide calipers, and you have known about vernier scale, vernier constant as well, main scale. What are these? You have been familiar with this term in your lab class. So vernier constant is what? The difference between one division of vernier scale and one division of main scale. VC, if I want to depict in small form, VC is equals S divided by N, where S is the length of one smallest division of main scale and N is the number of vernier divisions. That means depending on the number of vernier divisions, vernier constant can also be changed. Okay. Now if I want to measure the length, height or diameter of an object using slide calipers or using a vernier scale, the law will be L equals M plus V into VC, where L equals length, M equals main scale reading, VC vernier constant, capital V equals vernier superimposition. We will just try to do some mathematical work at the end of this chapter or end of this topic. Next, another measuring instrument is screw gauge. You have also seen this instrument. What is screw gauge? This is a measuring instrument that uses a screw. If the screw of a screw gauge is rotated, we can get the value of different objects. Okay, in screw gauge we have to learn about some terms. For example, pitch, least count. What is pitch? If the screw of a screw gauge is rotated once, the length it advances on the attached linear scale is called pitch. In a screw gauge, there are also two scales. One is called linear scale and another is called circular scale. And what is pitch? If the screw of a screw gauge is rotated once, the length it passes on the attached linear scale is called its pitch. And what is least count? The law or the equation for least count, LC, is equals pitch divided by number of divisions of the circular scale. So if we want to measure the diameter of an object using a screw gauge, then the required law is, or the required equation is D equals L plus C into LC, where D diameter, L equals linear scale reading, C is circular scale reading, and LC is the least count. We have known the equation of LC in our class. Now I just want to show you a demo question related to screw gauge and slide calipers or vernier scale. Okay, follow the question. The length of an object is 10 millimeter measured by a regular scale. If it is measured with slide calipers, the 8 verniers or circular mark coincides with the main scale mark. There are 20 vernier scale divisions in vernier scale. This is our stem, and from the stem we have known about some information, and from this information, what are the next questions? Knowledge based question is what is absolute error. The comprehension based question is why weight and mass are not same type of quantity. Application based question is determine the length of the object using slide calipers. And higher ability type question, will the length of the object be same using screw gauge if the circular scale of screw gauge has 100 division. Okay, let's know about the answers of this question. Our first question was what is absolute error. You have known about error, absolute error also. What is absolute error? The difference of measured value with respect to actual value is called absolute error. Then number B, why weight and mass are not same type of quantity. Weight and mass are not same type of quantity because mass is a unique term. This doesn't changes with the changes of place. Mass is the measure of how much matter an object has. On the other hand, weight is the force exerted on a body by gravity. It is the term gravity is related to weight, but this is not directly related to mass. If we want to say about gravitational acceleration G, small g, weight is directly related to gravitational acceleration because W equals mg. This equation is known by all, but mass, it doesn't changes with the variation of g. So that's why we can say weight and mass are not same type of quantity, because weight can be changed with the change of places, with the change of gravitational acceleration, but mass is a fixed value. Okay, now let's go for the third question, the answer of third question. In our stem, we have noticed the vernier scale has 20 divisions. So at first we have to determine the vernier constant, because as we know, our equation for measuring the length is L equals m plus v into vc, that means vernier constant. So what will be the vernier constant in this question? Vernier constant is equals 1 divided by 20 millimeter, that means 0.05 millimeter. Vernier scale reading, that means the mark of vernier scale that coincides with the main scale, that is called vernier scale reading. This is 8 because in our question, in our stain, it was included that the slide calipers, the 8 vernier or circular mark coincides with the main scale mark. So this is our vernier scale reading. Okay, main scale reading, this is 10 millimeter. So using slide calipers, the length will be L equals m plus v into vc. If I calculate the terms here, we'll get the length is L equals 10.40 millimeter. Okay, this is the answer of question C, determining the length of the object using slide calipers. And number D, will the length of the object be same using screw gauge if the circular scale of the screw gauge has 100 divisions? In this context, only the term of scale division, circular scale division has 10, where in vernier scale the total divisions were 20. In screw gauge the divisions has become 100. The rest of the readings are same for both scale. According to the stain, if I want to use the information for screw gauge, then list count L equals 1 divided by 100 millimeter, because linear scale divisions are 100. So 1 divided by 100 millimeter that means 0.01 millimeter, and linear scale reading is L equals 10 millimeter. Circular scale reading, that means the mark of circular scale that coincides with the linear scale, that is 8. The length measured by screw gauge is D equals L plus C into LC, where L linear scale reading, C circular scale reading, LC least count. So after calculation we'll get the answer D equals 10.08 millimeter. Our question was, will the length of the object be same using screw gauge and vernier slide calipers using two scale? Will the result be same or not? After our calculation, we are noticing that the result or the length measured by slide calipers or the screw gauge are not same. Okay, this was just a demo question, and while you are studying at home, you will try to solve this type of questions. And if you have understood this one, I have mentioned another math for your homework here. Just note it down. While measuring your question is, while measuring the volume of a cuboidal solid using slide calipers, Jayed noticed that the object has overcome the mark of 9.8 centimeter in main scale, and the 6th vernier scale has coincides with the main scale. The 10 divisions of vernier scale is equal to the 9 divisions of main scale. This is your stain, and what are the questions related to this stain? Number A, what is derived unit? You have known about fundamental unit, derived unit, their application, some prefixes. So you will get this answer from your book. What is derived unit? Next one is, what is the reason of using vernier scale along with main scale? Already I have told this one in this class, or you know this from earlier classes. Number C, what is the volume of the cuboidal solid? What will be the volume of the cuboidal solid according to the information of this 10? And number D, which one gives more accurate result, vernier scale or slide calipers? Explain logically. So you will give a logical explanation of which one is best, or which one gives more accurate result, the vernier scale or slide calipers, and why. You will just explain it. You will just do this homework on your notebook, on your copies, and just you will place it to a comment box. You will just submit it to the comment box, including your roll numbers, name and roll numbers. This is must for all of you. According to your involvements, according to your participation, your SBA marks will be counted. So try to concentrate on class, and whatever works will be given to you, just try to do that in a regular manner. Okay, our we want to return to our present discussion, that we were discussing about measuring instrument and their implementation, and how can we use the necessary equations for math type questions or creative type questions. So boys, this class is will be ended now. Just you must follow the class, I hope, and if you have any kind of problems understanding the class, you must share it on comment box. Okay, goodbye for today. See you next.